What's up, everyone? Happy Friday. You made it. It's the Friday Live with Lauren show. I am Lauren. Welcome back. If you've been here before, if it's your first time tuning in, I'm so thankful you joined us. Would you do me the biggest favor in the world? Pretty please, if I ask very nicely, would you share the show? I didn't post enough about the show this week. I'll be honest, it's my fault. LinkedIn doesn't love me that much. I posted about the LinkedIn Mafia today, so LinkedIn really don't love me that much. So would you share the show? Pretty please share the show. Let some other people know we're live. We have some fun giveaways today. We have an amazing guest today. We're going to spill the tea today. You're going to learn, laugh, and level up with us. As always, share the show, start commenting. Tell us where you are joining us from. If you don't tell us, we don't know. This isn't an audio event. We don't see you down there. You have to comment and engage so that we know you're here. And you have to comment to win one of the giveaways. But without further ado, let me bring on Miss Lisa Dean.
Hi, Lauren.
Hey, babe. How are you?
I'm doing great today. I'm so happy you invited me to be on the show. Thank you.
I am so thankful you came on the show. We went from LinkedIn acquaintances to LinkedIn friends to texting friends. Now you're on the show. One day it'll be in real life friends.
I can't wait for that one. I'll come to you since you're in Florida. I'm in Oklahoma, so.
We were just talking, everybody, about if you like hot or cold weather better. So I prefer the heat. I don't want to be cold. I think Lisa says she prefers it cold. What do you guys prefer? Do you want to be hot or cold? Like, what kind of weather do you like? Let us know while we're getting started. We'll tell you all the things. We'll show you all the stuff. But let us know. Do you guys prefer it to be hot or cold? We are looking forward to you being here, Tiffany. Thank you so much. And I'm so excited that Lisa's joining us today. Let's go. Lindsay Dowd in the house. What's up? That's my Aunt Billy. Shout out Aunt Billy. That's why I stream on Facebook for family. What's up, Peter? Happy Friday. Whoop, whoop. Rob. Thanks, Rob. You made it too. Chris Jarvis is in the house. Happy Friday, Chris. I did post about the LinkedIn Mafia, Nadine. Go check that out. If you haven't seen that yet. And I do have great guests. Lisa, I think she's talking about you.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Atlanta in the house. We got a couple people from Boston here. Orlando, Dallas. Happy Friday. We got a LinkedIn user from Phoenix. Who are you? Let us know. Andrew Stout. Yo. Hot weather. We got one for hot with Clarence. Jealous you get to be in real life friends with Lisa. Well, not yet, but one day. Nadine, I'm going to be in real life friends with you too. We are all going to get together. We got one for like it hot, talking about that LinkedIn Mafia. Ready for the summer? Me too. Bring me the heat. Okay, Lisa, I think the heat is winning right now.
I don't know why.
Hot weather. It's Friday, peeps. St. Pete, Florida. Aaron gets it and hot. Okay, everybody's on the hot train today.
Well, I need to clarify. I meant if I'm inside, like for this show, I would rather be cold than hot trying to do the show. But if I'm going to go on vacation, I'm going to choose a hot beach rather than a snowy ski.
Sweet. So we're all team hot here today, which is exactly why we all get along so well. Where are you, Lisa, is Steve's question.
Oklahoma City Metro.
There we go. How was the earthquake? Anybody here survive the earthquake today? I mean, I hope you all survived the earthquake if you attended the show. But tell us how the earthquake was. Flip-flops, please. I agree. All right, y'all. We got so much stuff going on. You know, we got some awesome giveaways. I got some great sponsors. I'm going to just start scrolling this on the bottom so that you guys can start commenting and entering to win all the things. I'll give you details later. But while you're reading that, I would love for Miss Lisa Dean to tell us all, give us a little intro. Who is Lisa Dean?
Well, I'm one of those people that my professional background is just a total zigzag. You know, before recruiting, which is when I really started LinkedIn. And so that's what most people know me as, being the empathetic recruiter. But my background has really mostly been focused on, leadership roles within operations, a huge voice of the customer. I've been in startups as well as established companies, B2B, B2C, really a little of everything. I've had a hand in all things culture, huge passion for me. and employee engagement, corporate training as well. So when I went into recruiting, I loved it, still love it, but I was missing something, to be honest. And so I figured it out that it was really the coaching leadership skills that I was missing. And that's why I started doing that on the side a little over 2 years ago. And my business is called Executive Empress. And while I do have male clients and I love them too, my business is built around empowering women through executive leadership coaching. And I partner with those women who want to move up to bigger titles and bigger paychecks. So while it's definitely a little too busy for me to be having my 8 to 5 full time and then recruiting nights, weekends, it is fulfilling. And so that's what it's all about. So that, and of course, my husband and 3 kiddos are fulfilling. So.
Oh, I love it. And I love that you want to empower women. That is one of the big things that I'm trying to do with the show this year is bring on more women in the space, y'all. That's why you see so many women on my show. Sorry, not sorry. All the fellas out there, get over it. I've had like 2 men on so far. We got a guy on next week, y'all. Come back. But for the most part, I want to bring on the ladies. I want to empower the women. I want you to tell your story so that other women know they can do it too. So that when we're struggling, we can see how to get out of these scenarios and really lift each other up and learn, laugh, right? We got to laugh or else why are y'all here? I'm not going to bring you to a show that's boring. But you got to laugh and you got to enjoy yourself along the way, y'all. This is your life. You get one of them. Please enjoy it a little bit. You are more than just your job. But I am so thankful that Lisa agreed to come on this show with me. Again, y'all, I'm so excited. Get over it, fellas. Hold on. I'm sorry. Nadine kicks me up. Nadine kicks me up. And Lindsay says to you, leadership and culture is my jam. Lisa, we can definitely be friends. Y'all, how are you two not already friends is my question. Sarah coming in hot from Kansas City. We got so many people here. Andrew, she does have an amazing story. That's why I'm going to have her tell you so much more of it in the next 52 minutes. Hang out. And Lindsay, thank you for helping me share this space with other people and helping elevate the women who come on this show. Lindsay's a huge supporter of the show. She was on the show. If you haven't seen her episode, go check it out. And she has her own podcast, an amazing YouTube show. Go check out Lindsay right now. Okay, that's all I can do for shout outs for everybody other than the people who sponsor this show. So really quickly, oh, that's not it. There we go. Official gifting sponsor today is Sendoso. They are the leading sending experts. If you have never sent a gift in your prospecting or sales prospect or any kind of business deal, y'all, let me show you the way. Sendoso does it well. We have a special gift today. If you comment hashtag Sendoso, you can win. I'm not going to show you what it is yet, but if you comment hashtag Sendoso, you can win that. You do have to live in the United States today, but I will show you in a little bit after we talk about the first topic. And then we also have the sponsor of Better Leap. I was at Better Leap's headquarters a few months ago in SF. What's up, y'all? If you are a recruiter and you are not checking out Better Leap and their natural language method for sourcing candidates, oh my goodness, you are wasting your own time. Hit me up. I'll teach you how to do that too. And with all of that, there will be no further ado. We are going to get into the secret to successful manifesting. All right, Lisa, if there was one big tip when we're starting off with this, where do we start for the secret to successful manifesting?
Action. So I used to hate when people talked about manifesting. I'm also not a fan of everything happens for a reason. Don't hate me for that because I know people are all about that. But I just am a believer that things don't fall into place. We don't just get lucky, you know. We manifest it. We have to start with being able to visualize where you want your life to be first. You know, I haven't ever made one of the boards, but I can see where that would go. You're putting everything you want to happen and you want your life to be, but you can't just make the poster and then go on your way, right? You have to then create a design to get there. And then that big secret of being successful at it is taking those action steps to make it happen.
Yeah. And a lot of times people get stuck, right? They're like, well, I have this amazing idea or I have this thing I want to do. And they have this plan and they talk about the plan, but they don't take the first step. So for people who have problems taking the first step, what's the key to getting past that barrier?
I think that's probably where a lot of people struggle. And a lot of people think that, they're looking for that instant success, that instant gratification. But really, after you visualize what you want, you have to just make sure that you're always taking that momentum forward. You know, it may be 1 year from now, it may be 5 years from now that you get where you want to be. But if you're always taking those steps, then that's how you're going to reach it.
So when you work with your clients and they're manifesting that next thing for them, right? What do you work through that process with them? How do you actually get them from point A to B?
It really just depends on, what their goals are, but really just breaking it down into, okay, here's where you want to be. What's going to be our next step? And then talk about, what that next step looks like, and then break it down even smaller from there, how to reach that next step. And just the biggest thing, and I just see people stop because they get frustrated. It's kind of like what we see, when people go all in on LinkedIn, they're like, I'm going to start posting every day. And then after, a week or two, definitely after a month, they're like, oh, nothing's happening. I'm not going to do that anymore. It really is, you got to play the long game.
100%. You got to keep going even when you get discouraged. And I think that that's part of it, is recognizing that you will have those speed bumps along the way. And when you hit them, you have to realize that that's what they are. They're just a speed bump, right? But
Right.
I would say, in my opinion, the secret to successful manifesting, yes, it's action, but it's beginning with the end in mind so that I'm seeing that end result and checking off little boxes that are really helping me get closer to that end result every step of the way. Where if the action that I'm doing isn't ticking one of the boxes, it's not an action I should be taking.
That's true. And also, sometimes we don't see it happening. I have a client that, at the end of the year, we were reevaluating where she was. She just didn't feel like, she'd made that much progress. But after we started talking through it, she was like, wow, I have really transformed. I've transformed from here to here, and I just wasn't seeing it. And after recognizing that, she's also having other people from her, within her work life say, I've really noticed blah, blah, blah about you. Have you been working on blah, blah, blah? So it just takes time.
It really does take time. Nadine says, here, expanding on your post yesterday, Lisa, manifesting then something. I didn't see that post. What post is she talking about?
Oh, I just posted a little blurb about, what we were going to talk about here today with the manifesting.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't something I missed that was super important. I haven't been on LinkedIn that much this week, y'all. My impressions are probably the lowest they've been in years. But what you said earlier when we were talking about manifesting and you're talking about maintaining and getting through those hiccups and speed bumps, I want to talk about specifically if you've ever had to work through a moment. Maybe you can give us a story or an example about a client who maybe hit a moment where they were so discouraged that they wanted to quit and they wanted to give up and they didn't want to keep going towards that end goal. And how did you push them through that?
I mean, I could give that example about myself as well,
Let's
right?
go.
I mean, I think we all come to that point that, we're all going to get there. It's how you work through it once you get there. I mean, just this week, I was having a moment like, how am I going to manage everything that's in front of me, right? And keep making the forward progress I want to make on my own. And also, my daytime job comes first. And so making sure that, that's always my priority. How much can I continue to put in my side business as a side business? And, sometimes you're just like, well, I'm going to have to cut back here, here, and here. But if you could just make it through that moment, you're going to get to the other side and be like, what was I even worried about? I'm fine. I'm going to do this on Saturday. I'm going to do this on Wednesday nights. It's just a matter of taking a minute, breathe, and then break it down. I mean, that's what I work through my clients with. What's making you panic right now? And so, one of my clients had an issue where, she was just really concerned with getting bogged down with work and not being able to get to that next level. And so it's just a matter of, okay, what type of work, how can we minimize that so you're working on the important things and not spending your time on the stuff that just throws itself in front of you. So it just depends on the situation, but break it down, take a breath, take that next step.
I love the advice that Peter put in the comments. Imagine with your senses on where you want to be as if you are already there. That helps more than people realize. Just like actually physically writing down the things you want to accomplish. Like physically write them down. Tape them on your refrigerator. Get a magnet. I don't care. Put it right in front of your face every day and actually put pen to paper. Don't just type it out and click print. Pen to paper, people. Pen to paper. Read them aloud, say them aloud. I'm
Yeah.
not just saying you don't have to act, but like actually write it down. Make it something that you want to actually do. Hi, Joy. Joy's in the house. I hate that it always shows LinkedIn user for Joy, but what's up, Joy? Peter says, I saw this back in elementary school. It's very true in life, where every 1,000-mile journey begins with one step. Yes. Isn't it so interesting, Peter and Lisa, how all of those elementary school little like things we learn now as adults are like, man, that hits hard.
Yeah, and you know about what you said about writing things down, I think that reminded me of one of my clients too, that you know, she was having that struggle every day of having positivity at work. She was just feeling only the negative. And so we talked about, you know, at the end of each day, just write down 2 things that went great today. And so then tomorrow, when you start your day, you're going to see the 2 things that went great and kind of feed on that. It's really crazy how, you know, when we focus on the negative just multiplies. And if we focus on the positive, positive multiplies. And you know, I have later in one of our other things, one of our other segments, just talking about a work experience that really changed my life in general with that.
Yeah. And for to your point, I mean, I tell my son every day, like, you choose the day you have. You choose the day you have, right? Like nobody else chooses that for us. We choose that. So,
Yeah.
okay. We have so much to talk about, y'all, but I didn't tell Lisa this, but I do want Lisa to get to talk about this really quick. And you're going to be fine with this. Don't worry, Lisa. But while everybody is commenting for all of the giveaways, Lisa, can you explain what your LinkedIn ladies is? Can you talk about it for a minute so people can really understand what they're commenting to win?
Yeah, for sure. So, LinkedIn ladies, as I mentioned, you know, I work on empowering women. And I remember when I was, you know, starting LinkedIn, you know, you're just kind of fumbling your way through it. You make a post, you delete your post because no one commented. And you try to comment on people, you don't know anyone. It's just like you're just kind of grasping at things. And so and you know, and that's fine. Everyone has their learning curve and just figuring out what's going to work for them. But for those people who, you know, would like some tips, and I wish I would have had them in the beginning. So that's what I brought LinkedIn Ladies to the forefront. It was one of the really exciting projects that I've done. Meaning for me, like I was really excited to do it. So you know, I keep it a small group. We meet 75 minutes a week for 4 weeks. So just through, you know, different months. I don't do it every month. And we pinpoint the goals for their goals for LinkedIn because everyone has different reasons to be here. And then we just talk about different paths to get there. We do everything together from talking about posting, you know, including those hooks and call to actions, having some time to actually do some of those posts because I know people get bogged down with them later. We talk about growing your community, great ways to network if you really don't want to post, you know, certain strategies, how to get to actually know people, how to start having your community. Like when, you know, I first started, Lauren, you and I, we ended up in the same circles, but it takes time. And if I would have known some ways to get to know you sooner, for example, making sure to visit your page and your post every day, commenting to you, and then commenting to another few people that, you know, had a comment that I connected with. So little things like that. We talk about building a brand. And then for those who want to monetize LinkedIn, we cover things like that, how to, you know, build it in, you know, make it into your business, how to create things that can bring in money. And it's a small group, like I said, so it also becomes a support group, which I really love.
I love what you're doing. And y'all, like, I run the accountability group, which is free, and it'll teach you to post every day for 30 days, which, don't get me wrong, I think it's great. But what Lisa's doing actually provides like one-on-one support. I don't offer anything like that. Like, this is something where you're literally sitting with someone who's been there, done that, tried it, A tested it, B tested it, C tested it, seen the results, giving it to you, right? So it really is an awesome prize. I did see we already had one male enter. But comment Lisa Dean to Winter, and then also, y'all, you can comment Sendoso. I guess I'll go ahead. Lisa, should we tell them what the giveaway is? Should we show them? I think we should show them the Sendoso one. All right, y'all, you can comment hashtag Sendoso if you live in the United States. This is United States only giveaway today. Hold on, let me move us here. Let me drop this right here. All right, y'all, we are doing, it is a Righteous Felon beef jerky sample pack. So there's 4 flavors of beef jerky and 2 jerky sticks. If you already entered and you're a vegan, give it to your neighbor or ship it to someone else. You don't have to keep it for yourself. You can give this as a gift. This is a sending platform, Sendoso. We gotta Sendoso you some fun. So we could send it to someone else or you could send it to yourself, but this is the Sendoso giveaway. I hope more of you enter in for it now that you know that it's beef jerky. You could eat it. We could be eating it right now during the show. I think in season 3, I'm gonna eat something every episode, and make it something funny. But this is the Sendoso giveaway. All right, let me figure out how to get this off of the screen and put us back. All right, everyone, giveaways at the bottom. We're through topic number 1. We already discussed the secret to successful manifesting. You can go back if you'd like to see that once this is over, because it will stay on LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook, all the things. But we have so much more. So, Lisa, we are going to move into topic number 2, which is these 3 things will lead to higher levels of success in everything you do. So, I'm curious, y'all. I don't know the 3 things Lisa's talking about. Lisa, tell us the things. What 3 things will lead to higher levels of success in everything we do?
I first want to start with saying, of course, things like, the ingredients like empathy and giving and all of those things are important, but to not float through life, that's okay too. If someone wants to float through life, that's great too. But if you have a plan and you want a way to get there, my 3 tips are intention, efficiency, and execution. So, I could probably talk about organization for so long and put everyone to sleep. I'm really passionate about it. When I was a corporate trainer, one of the things I trained our entire company on was efficiency and organization. I went to special trainings. I don't know if you've heard of GTD. It's called GTD, Getting Things Done by David Allen. And then I got to train it to everyone in the company based on their specific roles. And I just don't feel like organization gets enough credit. As a recruiter, I think it's actually one of the most important things. There are so many different pieces flying around all the time. If you don't have your systems, we see all the time people fall between the cracks. So have you heard of the 2-minute rule, Lauren?
I have, but I'm sure there's a number of people who have not, because y'all are going to learn something today.
One of my favorite things. So we all have a habit of working on like a gazillion things all at once. And when an email comes in, you get sidetracked and you start on that project only to realize, I need to do some more research on that. Someone comes by to ask you something. You say, oh, sure, I'll take care of that. And you start working on that. Meanwhile, the things that you had to get done today are just getting pushed over. So what happens? You end up having to stay late today, or you don't meet those deadlines and you move them to tomorrow because you're prioritizing what's in front of you now instead of what's really most important. So here's how it works. Let's say you get that email in or an assignment or a phone call, whatever the case is. You make your decision based on this question. Will this take me 2 minutes or less to do it? If the answer is yes, then do it, delete it. If and this would be things like answering an email with an update about, customer X, or saving a file where it belongs instead of, waiting for later. And then you've looked at the email 5 times and still haven't saved the file. So if the answer is no, though, will this take me 2 minutes or less? And the answer is no, then create a task and do it in the order of its priority. I mean, it makes the most sense, but we just don't do it. And then this drives people crazy. Delete the email. You don't need it because you've got your task made up somewhere else. And then this actually leads you to conquering the ever elusive zero inbox that you hear about. If you don't have a system for those tasks that you get, besides keeping them in an email and flagging and moving and all of that jazz, you can't keep the zero inbox. And then the last favorite thing that I love in this whole organizational frenzy is time blocking. And I don't know if you use time blocking, but it's definitely one of the things that consistently comes up in any kind of coaching. Time is always an issue. I mean, people don't have enough time for their job. And so we really work on, making sure on the calendar they have 90 minutes a day at least to put on their, to do their jam, whatever their specific thing is. 90 minutes, that's really important that you're on do not disturb during that time. You need 90 minutes of uninterrupted. You're going to be focusing on your most important tasks, the things that really take concentration, the things you don't like doing, the things you normally put off, and then go without any interruptions, any notifications. You're not checking email, you're doing nothing else. And that is going to lead to being successful at whatever it is you're doing, because you're organized, you're intentional, you're efficient.
Organized, intentional, and efficient. Y'all, it's so true. And I love you bringing up the 2-minute rule. I wanted you to get to tell your story first. I learned about the 2-minute rule when I was in management training right out of college. And I remember the organization I worked for, they gave us a task. It was a bunch of us. And it was like, if these were all the things you had to accomplish, what order would you do them in and why? Right. And the thing I messed up on, all the things were in order except for the things that were under 2 minutes. Those should have been first. And that's how I learned about the 2-minute rule. I was like, well, what do you mean? I did everything right. No, you didn't. You have to apply the 2-minute rule, and anything under 2 minutes, we're going to do first. So it was a very hard lesson to learn. Also, because I was in front of a class of like 30 people and definitely volunteered to go first because I definitely knew I did it right. Right. Y'all, like, you don't get that vibe from me at all. But I definitely knew I did it right. So I volunteered to not do it right, and had to figure that out. So it is really important. And if you can do something in 2 minutes or less, the honest truth is you probably have 2 minutes. Like if somebody cold calls you, you're probably lying when you say you don't have 15 seconds to hear them out or 2 minutes to hear their pitch. You probably do have 2 minutes to give someone 2 minutes. And my advice is to be kind and give more people 2 minutes of your time because you do have it. So, okay, say it one more time so everybody who's watching can know. The 3 things are, say it one more time.
Okay. The 3 things are intention, efficiency, execution.
Intention, efficiency, and execution. All right, y'all. We are at the halfway point of the show. Can you believe it?
I can.
Can you believe it? Okay. We are going to do a few things. Let me remove this. I have the one and only Michelle Craig coming on to talk about High Five Friday and shout out all the amazing people here who submitted. Thank you all for coming to my rescue when I didn't post that this week. You will learn about the accountability group while Lisa gets to take a short break. I don't get to take a break because I'm producing the show, so I'll be in the background doing all the stuff. But we will see you all in just a minute, and stick around to watch Michelle do all of the high fives and see if you're one of the special people who got one today.
What is up, everybody? So, as usual, I am overcaffeinated and excited to be here. If you can guess what airport I'm at right now, then I will send you Grove cookies. But that's the least important thing. So, let's jump into your high fives and shout outs for the week. So, first we have Rob for Allie. Allie Harrison is a senior SDR at Harry. She's posting on the regular with value and industry insights. You can feel her passion for the culinary industry and her warm personality at every turn. She's a huge go getter and giver. Hashtag making moves. I learn from her and about her every day. Joy, which again, I think Joy's on like week 4 or 5 of submitting. So we're gonna have to figure out a way to get Joy maybe a little treat as well, because she keeps supporting this and lifting others up. Joy for Clara, with nearly 5 years of talent expertise, Cara Carreño excels in attracting and retaining top talent in the sales industry. With a diverse background spanning virtual executive assistants to roles in music and entertainment, she brings a unique blend of administrative prowess and creative flair. Plus, she's a great person to be around, known for her supportiveness, strong work ethic, and dedication to growth. She is open to remote talent acquisition opportunities. Hiring managers or those aware of suitable roles are encouraged to connect with her. And then Andrew for Lauren. Lauren is just one of those people that exudes enthusiasm wherever she goes. She constantly goes above and beyond with everything that she does and puts her mind to. No matter what she has on the go, she's always willing to lend a hand to anyone in need. I want to give a shout out and high five to this remarkable human. Thank you for all that you do. Andrew also came in with a double here. So Nicole is quite simply a remarkable individual. She has an impeccable way of engaging with every person she meets. She always goes above and beyond and is committed to making sure everyone is seen, heard, valued, and understood. Here's a high five and a shout out to you. Thank you for everything that you do. You are a true gem. And don't think that we're done. We've got more, y'all. Liz for Raul and Victor. Raul and Victor, I'm extremely grateful for how you've taken the time to work with me on improving my technical knowledge in our platforms and are always willing to help when I hit a roadblock. I'm lucky to have them as coworkers and resources. Then we've got Jason for Corey. Shout out to Corey for making huge progress on the Teamwork Partner Program in just a short amount of time and adding real value to the company, and for being an amazing human. Melissa wants to give a high five to Amber Williams for being full of compassion, empathy, and grace. Erin Delaney wants to give a high five to one of our besties, Tom Slocum. And then, last but not least, very special today, Jacob wants to give a shout out to, well, I'll read his words. I want to give a shout out to the two awesome ladies who provide brightness in people's lives every day. I'm talking about Lauren Sermon and Michelle Craig. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you, Jacob. You bring brightness to us. Happy Friday, y'all. We made it barely, clearly. Cheers.
Cheers, y'all. Happy Friday. Thank you so much, Michelle. Did anybody guess what airport you're at? We'll have to come back and see.
We'll find out. I'll be in the comments.
All right. All right, everyone. I messed up one of the high fives. Did you notice which one? So sorry, Nicole. That's all my fault. That's what you get for producing the show yourself and thinking you double checked everything. But y'all, we had 9 high five submissions this week. It's the most we've ever had. Y'all showed up and I really, really appreciate you. So thank you so much for making that part of the show so special. We love celebrating you. And the only way we can do that is by you all submitting. So Michelle, I know she's traveling. One of us will drop the link again so that you guys can keep submitting for next week. We would love to celebrate you and high five, share your wins, all the things. All right. Are you ready? Are you still there? Are you awake? What are you doing right now? Somebody comment. Tell me what you're doing right now. Are you working? Are you eating lunch? If you're on the West Coast, you might be having lunch on your lunch break. If you're on the East Coast, you might be hiding from your boss in the bathroom watching this show. Who knows? I won't judge, and I don't think Lisa will either. All right, we are back. We have 2 more hot topics. Are you ready?
I am. But by the way, I really loved that just now because there are only a couple of people on that list that I'm already connected with. So I just learned a lot of new people to follow, and I just want to reiterate that Joy is just so great at supporting others. Yeah, always. I've gotten to know her recently, and she's just really great.
Yeah, Joy's incredible. I'm very blessed to know Joy. If you're not following Joy, go follow Joy. Make sure you're following Lisa. If you're watching the show, you better be following Lisa. Okay, we have a few more topics, and I know you all will be very excited about them. So, the next one, we're going to talk about the difference negativity post versus toxic positivity. So, when you say this, what do you mean? Tell the people.
Yeah, so we see advice all the time on LinkedIn not to share their LinkedIn rants, not to go on and talk about this terrible experience, that one. I'm not going to get started on all the recruiter bashing that goes on, but we see the people just saying, keep that, to your not just private, but share with your close people. And then we see others trashing that advice, calling it a push for toxic positivity. We shouldn't have to pretend that everything is positive all the time. But what I want to say is that both of those things can be true at the same time. So it really depends on what your goal for LinkedIn is. Most people that are on LinkedIn, their goal is either a business or getting a job. And so you have to really keep those things in mind. So the fact is, if you choose to post predominantly negative posts, you're right. People should not judge you, but some people will. And the response to that is sometimes, well, if they don't want someone who's honest and says what they want, then I don't want to work for a place like that. And I get that too, but let's unpack it this way. Picture this: you're in the running for a role. You've gone through all of the hoops that you have to jump through. It's down to 2 candidates, and the hiring team is just really stuck. Like, they love you and they love the other person. One person on the hiring team, goes looking around on LinkedIn and they say, I didn't notice that Lisa was so negative. Maybe I just didn't see that side of her. Maybe we should go with Sally. And then you're out. So it could be an awesome company and just one person noticed that one thing. That doesn't make it a terrible company you don't want to work for. I think right now, hiring teams need to first stop finding ways to exclude candidates and instead find ways to include them. But also, candidates need to do all they can to open doors, whatever they can to open that door, and then they can decide if they want to walk through the door. But they have to put their best foot forward to make sure they get that option.
I completely agree with you. There's a few people that I follow on LinkedIn, and sometimes I ask myself why I follow them because it's so negative. But I also follow because I do think that there is a bit of a correlation with how your posts come off and how you are going to get results in using LinkedIn for your job search. So if you are on LinkedIn and you don't plan to go back into the corporate world and you plan to work for yourself and you are who you are and you'll figure out your clients and you're confident in that, fine, post what you want to post. But for the most part, at some point, people are people and people are going to have an opinion about your content. And by posting content, you are allowing for that criticism and that critique to come out in any way, shape, or form that it manifests. You allowed it because you posted it. So don't, like, we're going to go back to you have the day that you choose. Like, I tell people all the day, I hope you have the day you deserve, right? Like, you choose what you post. And if you think you might be posting something that could in some way, shape, or form have some negative connotation coming back to that, like, you need to decide up front, is that something that you are okay with? And I'm sorry, Lindsay, let's talk about this. So I know that you disagree. We could save it for a private chat. We'll talk about this later. But I don't think that you necessarily can be negative all the time and keep your clients, right? But I do think that some people, and I can DM you specific people who are actually pretty successful in their very negative posts. One of them is watching today. But in their negative posts about people who actually have made some decent money and saved some clients from that too. So private chat, we'll go there. Y'all, I'm always open for these. If you disagree with what I'm saying, comment right now and let's talk about it. That's what this is about. This isn't like me and Lisa are up here and we just know everything. Like, y'all, we want to have a discussion with y'all too. That's what the comments are for. So thanks for commenting, Lindsay. But I do think that there's a big difference, especially between being in a position where you're a job seeker, right? Or you're actively employed. And then I think that sometimes, Lisa, and tell me if you see this too. If you see, sometimes I see that people who maybe they've been in that job search process for so long, the post shifts. And I don't know if they realize that their post tone shifts so much. And it's like a slow shift over time. And then it's like they're almost like a different person posting. Have you seen that in your LinkedIn feed as well?
Definitely. And, you know, I saw the other day someone use these words. I wish I could give them credit, although I'm sure they're not the first person to say it, but to think of LinkedIn as your portfolio, not your journal, you know? And so even those frustrated posts, and again, I'm not judging it. I would not make a decision on it, but there are people who will. That's the point I want to say. There are a lot of people who won't, and that's how it should be. But, you know, when they're posting about how many they've applied to and how many they've gotten rejected to, you know, employers are looking for, you know, someone that's going to put their positive self forward. And one person I will say that I have to give a shout out to is Tori Whaley, and in her job search, she has been the most positive. And again, I don't see it as toxic positivity because she really does keep a positive outlook on her job search. I'm sure she has her down moments, but if you follow her job search journey, she just does it fun, and it makes you want to learn. And she gives tips while she's doing it too. So that's been great.
And it's fun for people to learn from people who are fun. Tom says it can shift all the way to Eeyore territory, dude, right?
That's
Right?
illegal. Yeah.
Who's going to bring the umbrella to carry over my head? Because the cloud is following. And that's how I feel. Sometimes you just see the cloud over the post. Michelle loves that portfolio, not journal. That was a little nugget for all of you. Okay, Michelle says that Katie Pinner, ding, 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 ding. Katie Pinner, who I don't know if she needs Grove cookies, because whatever, y'all work it out. But Katie Pinner figured it out. Trying to see Katie's comment. Chicago. Michelle is in Chicago, everyone. There we go. Now we know. I didn't know if we were going to learn on the show or not, but I saw that happening in the comments, so I had to pull it up really quick. Listen, I like that you say portfolio, not journal. I will say I've treated LinkedIn as a journal. I think that the further I'm getting, maybe not so much, but not so much because I don't want to, just not so much because I'm actually so busy. I'm not really posting as much as I was in the beginning. But I do think a lot of the attention that I got on LinkedIn early on was the fact that I was willing to say some of the things on LinkedIn that a lot of people wouldn't.
And I do love that about you.
And I also, and this is the other thing with, like Lisa mentioned, what's the purpose of being on LinkedIn and what's the purpose of what you're doing, right? So I was told if you get on LinkedIn every day for a year, it'll change your life. That happened to me. I completed my year. That was successful. Thank you. After a year and throughout that year, my mission was to say the things that people couldn't, because I recognized my privilege and I recognized that I was in a position to speak about things that many people couldn't or were too afraid to. And I would get constant DMs about, oh my God, I'm dealing with that exact scenario at work. Or, oh my God, I can't even like your post because my boss would notice and they would know I'm talking about them. And it went on and on and on. And I was like, okay, well, there's a place for this here. But my posts aren't completely negative. Most of my posts are actually pretty positive, and they're sarcastic and they're funny. And while they're serious, they're not seriously negative.
And you also work for yourself.
I also work for myself. The first year, I did not work for myself, though. The first year I posted on LinkedIn. I will say I worked for someone who was very active on LinkedIn, and that helped because they had their own brand and they were very encouraging that I could post. And then I got in a situation where the employer I had essentially told me I had to stop posting. And the next day I went out on my own. And I was like, yep, nope, not doing that. So here's LW.
Love that story.
Here we go. But I just think that your intention in the beginning has to be specific and pure, right? Like, I didn't come on LinkedIn saying, I'm coming on LinkedIn so I can have a show, so that I can have 500,000 followers, so that I didn't come on LinkedIn for any of that. I came on LinkedIn. I had 600 connections. I hadn't used LinkedIn for anything but a resume placeholder. And I was like, wouldn't it be cool if I could get to 1,000? Like, that was literally like my first thought. Like,
Same.
wouldn't it be cool if we could get to 1,000? And then, like, when we started the show, I had 30 people show up at one point, and I was like, oh my God, 30 people? That's so many people. Like, it wasn't like a huge grandiose goal of this big thing. It was just, I came for the purpose of, I wanted to be the person that also got to bring people on like Lisa, who half of you wouldn't get to learn from someone like Lisa on a regular basis or get to have 30 minutes on Lisa's calendar. So I want you guys to get to experience that. But a lot of that is me being me. And some of that came off a little negative in the beginning, let's be honest. So I just feel like I have to own that since we're talking about all of this. All right. Lindsay says, I think there's a balance between being honest, funny, snarky, and helpful. Just be careful with the bashing. You're so true, Lindsay. I will say, we'll save this story for another time, but the bashing did get me pretty far at one point. Lindsay knows the story. And Michelle is leaving. She's on her way out, and she said she enjoyed the snow. Michelle, we commented at the beginning of the show. We are hot people, not cold people. We don't enjoy snow. How did you put those two things in a sentence together? Like, who enjoys snow? Oxymoron. Oxymoron. I don't think so. There are some who assume honesty is negativity. Hard truths are not necessarily negative. That is true too, whoever this is. I agree with you. And sometimes you need somebody to give you the hard truth. If you go to my website, the first thing it says under job search strategy sessions is this: there's no bullshit here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, it's different when you're giving advice too. You know, a lot of times we do get some backlash for giving advice that people don't want to hear. Because it is a hard truth, but that's, you know, if it can help you, then you decide if you think it can help you or not. And I loved what Lindsay said earlier about disagreeing. And I think it deserves a little sentence to at least say, I love when people disagree, and I love to hear the back and forth. And I consistently will comment and say, I love this conversation, even if I wasn't part of it. As long as people can be respectful of each other, that's what it's about. I can't stand it when people block someone that disagrees with them, as long as they're being respectful. That's just, so I don't get it.
Yeah, if you're being respectful, I'll pretty much go back and forth with you. But the second that you call something stupid into the conversation, I'm done with you and I don't want any part of it.
Okay.
Michelle, maybe you enjoyed the snow if you were in a conference for 72 hours. Like, maybe I would enjoy going out into the snow, but I still think I'd prefer the conference. And Lindsay said she does not enjoy snow in April. That is faux show. Me neither. What is going on, y'all? I live in South Florida and it was in the 60s the other night. And I was like, brr, I had to have a blanket at the ball field. And y'all are probably laughing at me, but that's real life. Like, the flip-flops go away if it's below 70 degrees. We have one more topic. How are we moving through this fast? I can't believe what time it is. Okay. This one's a big one, y'all. This one's a lot to unpack here too. We're going to talk about elevated experiences. How do you do this for companies, for your candidates, for your employees, for your partners? Y'all, we want to elevate everyone's experience. Lisa, tell everybody, what's the lowdown? How do we start elevating these experiences?
This is probably the topic that's most near and dear to my heart. I just take it into everything that I do. So I worked for one company that they based everything around a book called Raving Fans by Ken Blanchard and Sheldon Bowles. I don't know if you've heard of that one. And it's about, everything you do, creating raving fans for your business, and that alone helps your business. So they were generous and paid for me to go to a Ritz-Carlton training, actually in Florida. And it was all about creating those elevated experiences and how they do it at the Ritz-Carlton. And I took that information and went back and created processes for the company, helped train the different teams on the things that were going to take us to the next level. And this was a company that was already doing amazing things. And they're the ones who wanted to just keep going to the next level, which I think says something. But that's the thing I was talking about earlier, is that really changed my life, and not just my work life. We created a culture of giving and positivity, and everyone loved working there. We gave love, we received it too by being spoiled for the company. I took my best friend from kindergarten up to my office one day, and as we're walking around, you've got one guy, oh, hey, Lisa, I read that book from the book club. What'd you think about such and such? You walk down, someone else is like, oh my gosh, I loved that training on such and it was like that whole way around. We got to my office and she was like, is this for real? And I was like, no, it really is. I went every day. I kept thinking, is this going to be the day that, everyone sucks? And it really wasn't. We really focused on that positivity. And it doesn't mean that, every single day was an amazing day. But every single job I've had since then, every single thing I do revolves around this. Companies think it's hard to do, or it takes more effort or lots of money, but it's really not the truth. I think that the trick to it is, and I'm a really process driven person, but I feel like if you create a process that has this as part of that experience, it makes it easy on the team. You want it to be easy on the team, not hard. But if you provide the technology that's needed, you provide the verbiage to use, and it's all lined out for them in the steps, it's all going to be about the nuances and the delivery. But if you train the people and then you hold everyone accountable for it and everyone's using it, then when you follow it, magic happens. It delivers that red carpet, white glove experience every time. And then your clients will love you enough to tell others and create that raving fan experience. And then you have more clients because of it. So everybody wins.
Everybody wins. When everybody wins, you typically make more money. I haven't been to that specific training, but I was Marriott trained right out of school. If you don't know, my background is actually in hospitality before I got into sales. And when I was working for Marriott and Mr. Marriott, we were going over figuring out breaking down the barriers. And it was like, you have to ask the question, why not? If somebody wants something and you say no, why not? Like, why are you not doing that for them? What's the specific blocker that's a reason you can't do that? Is there like a legal thing? Like, okay, I understand we ran out of something and we have specific ingredient list and we can't just go off to some crazy vendor and get something we don't know to supply. I get that. There's other stuff involved. But if it's just a simple request, it's just not a usual request, why can't we accommodate that? Why not? So that kind of became the theme, right? When somebody would want something and your typical response would be no, well, why not? And you have to really break down the why not? Why can't I do this? Why won't I do this? Is it because I don't have time? Is it because it's really not possible? But when you start breaking down the why nots, you start realizing how much is possible. And it sets off this light bulb where you notice things and you realize things. And now you're proactively looking for well, it's not a why not, it's a what else. And the why not turns to what else. And when that happens, like Lisa said, it's magic and it's beautiful. But it took a lot of people breaking down the why not, because a lot of people come from a job or an environment where these are the rules and this is what we follow and this is what you do. But by little tiny things, and it wasn't really breaking rules, things that were asked for, it was just not typical request. But when we got past the why not and we figured out what we could do, then it was like, well, what else could we do? And the what else is where we found all of the magic. So I love that. I really do think that if you elevate these experiences and if you start with the candidates, you maintain through the employees, right? They maintain for your partners, for the companies. Like, it all just trickles. And if they learn it at the candidate level, they carry it with them forever. Have you ever met somebody who maybe didn't have an elevated experience before and then they started working with you, Lisa, and they were like, oh my God, what was that like?
I mean, all the time. And it's like, even just all the clients through that company, even if I wasn't working with them directly or the partners, all of the feedback, like if you ask someone to write a review for you, they can't wait. And it's going to be this long because they feel like you have given them so much. And when you're talking about the question, why not? I love that, because once you're in that situation and you get to where that naturally comes to you, like, why not? And then, so everything you think of is something that can be done. And the only question then is, how to do it. And like you said, what else? And I think it's worth pointing out too, that it's saying yes to something. It makes a difference if you say it with a smile or like it's a pain in the rear, because, if you're going to say yes, you might as well do it as if you're giving. If you do it with hesitation, you might as well say no anyway. And so it's so much about the delivery on that.
Agreed. And if you're going to say no, do that with a smile too, people. No comes up better with a smile. Like, I just said no and I'm smiling. How good does that feel right now? No. Sorry, we have to laugh a little bit. Okay, y'all, it's only a few minutes left. Really quick. Don't forget, comment for the giveaways. Comment hashtag Lisa Dean. Comment hashtag Sindoso. You have just a few more minutes to do this. I will let you do this. Somebody's messaging me while we're live. Who are you? Why are you messaging me? Okay. Sorry. Favorite part of the show right now, Lisa, are you ready?
I'm ready.
It's time for our Fun Friday Fact.
Okay, so a fun fact. I'm going to go back to my best friend I was talking about from kindergarten there. Her name's Carrie Bett. I shouldn't give her any credit because she's not watching the show right now. But she used to live down the street from me when we were in kindergarten, and she moved away in 8th grade, but we stayed friends. Well, she's a flight attendant now, and well, it has been forever. And that whole nother show could be done about stories from that. But the fun fact is that I get to be her one person outside of her family that gets to fly for free. And that is pretty cool. We've gone to Paris, we've gone to London. She has 2 rules for me, though. You have to no checking bags, and you have to always bring a swimsuit. So one time we were trying to go to Germany, and we ended up in Hawaii. We had our sweaters packed and our boots packed, but we did have a swimsuit, so we made it work. So her rules have had a lot of purpose, and I appreciate that. But I think that's so cool.
1, that's incredible. 2, I could never travel overseas without a checked bag. Are you joking?
That's what I said too, but you just figure it out. And we've gotten to go first class. Not every time, but yeah, for free. So
like, I mean, I love it. I would probably I would just buy everything when I got there. I'd be like, YOLO, we'll figure it out. I flew for free, so it was worth it. I'll just buy everything. We'll leave it here. We won't fly home with it. We'll donate it. That's what I would
right, exactly.
Wow. Okay. I've never met somebody who just gets to fly for free. Love that. Comment below if you get to fly for free. Lisa,
you do have to fly on standby, though. Standby.
Whatever. You're in a beautiful airport. I'm probably drinking a margarita or a glass of champagne if I'm at the airport.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's so cool. I want to fly for free. I'm not jealous at all. Okay. I see all of you commenting. Thank you, Tom. We agree. You got a high 5 from Aaron Delaney. I hope you were watching. Now that's a great best friend. I agree. I think that's Joy. I'm not sure. All right, let's do the giveaways. Are y'all ready? We have 17 entries into the Sindoso giveaway and 11 entries into Lisa's giveaway. There were a few men who commented for your giveaway who said if they won it, they would donate it to a woman. So I think that would be pretty cool. Let's share the screen. Let's do Lisa's giveaway first. Can you see my screen, everyone? Yay, you can. I double checked. All right, are you ready? On your mark, get set, go. Who's it going to be today? Brittany, Margot, Tom, Aline, Monica, Liz, April. All right. Congratulations to April. We will get you and Lisa connected. Go connect with Lisa right now, April. Congratulations. And then let's do the Sindoso giveaway. That is the last one of the day. Are you ready? This is for all the jerky, not all the marbles, all the jerky. Are you ready? 17 entries. My favorite number. Liz, Rob, Tom, who's it going to be? You have to be in the U.S. to win this because I got to ship it to you. If you're not in the U.S., you can send it to somebody who is. Aaron! Aaron is like a very lucky winner on this show. Y'all got to find out what Aaron's doing. Like, how many times does Aaron comment? I don't know. The has been winning. Man, congratulations, everyone. Lisa, anything you'd like to say to everybody on this fabulous Friday before we depart?
No, just have a great weekend. And thank you, Lauren, again for having me. I had a great time, as we said I would.
Yes, I knew you'd have fun. And y'all, this was so good for me. As always, it's always fun for me. I hope you enjoyed it. And like I always say, if you didn't, don't come back. Bye.